In Matthew chapter 12, we read the following. Someone told Jesus, "Your mother and your brothers are standing outside asking to speak with you." But he said in reply to the one who told him, "Who is my mother? Who are my brothers?" And stretching out his hand towards his disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my heavenly Father is my brother and sister and mother." In Jesus' time, family ties were extremely important, not just from an emotional standpoint, but from a sense of identity and belonging. In Jesus' context, who you were was largely your place in a family and your family's place in society. So it is a radical statement for Jesus to say that family was less about his blood family and more about those who do God's will. In the same way for us, culture feels important by giving us a sense of identity and rootedness. But Jesus says that doing God's will takes a higher place than following cultural norms. If our culture does something against God's will, we must let it go. We must stop those practices, even if we might get disowned by our culture. If our culture participates in cruelty towards animals, we must cut it off. It is tough, but that's what Jesus teaches us, and he will give us the grace to follow through. From a practical standpoint, we need to remember that our culture is so much more than one or two practices. If we give up meat, I doubt our culture will die off. If it did die off, it would have been a rather shallow culture. Culture is about religion, philosophy, art, music, dance, literature, theater, ways of cooking, festivals, rituals, etc. And cultures change all the time. I would be proud to belong to a culture that changed for the better by being more kind towards animals. When the British banned the ancient practice of sati in India, that is, burning of a woman when her husband dies, there was significant pushback. But Indian culture is alive and well today, and is much better for having stopped this abhorrent practice. So then do not worry. You and your culture will be fine if you give up meat. And more importantly, you will choose doing God's will of showing mercy over the need to continue participating in abhorrent cultural practices. When there is a conflict, culture is much less important than discipleship of Christ.